Hello, friends. Welcome to Theology Made Kids Storytime. Tonight's story is about a man who ran faster than almost anyone in the world, but never ran away from his faith. His name was Eric Liddell, and he proved that faith is worth more than gold. Let's begin. Eric Liddell was born in China in 1902, the son of Scottish missionaries. Even as a little boy, Eric loved to run. He ran through fields, raced his friends, and felt pure joy when his feet pounded the ground. His father would smile and say, "Whatever you do, Eric, do it for the glory of God." And Eric never forgot those words. When he grew older, he moved to Scotland to go to school. It didn't take long for people to notice how fast he was. No one could catch him. In every race, Eric flew across the finish line like the wind itself had carried him. People started calling him the Flying Scotsman, and soon the world would know his name. By the time Eric was 22, he was chosen to represent Great Britain in the 1924 Olympics. It was the biggest competition in the world, a chance to win gold. But when Eric looked at the schedule, his heart sank. The race he had trained for, the 100-meter dash, was set for Sunday. And there was no way Eric would run on Sunday, because Sunday was the Lord's day. For Eric, Sunday was a day for worship, rest, and honoring God. People were furious. They begged him to change his mind. They told him he was throwing away his chance at gold. But Eric stood firm. "God gave me my speed," he said, "and I will honor him first." Just when it seemed like Eric would miss his Olympic dream, an opportunity appeared. A different race, the 400 meters, still had an open spot. Eric had never trained for this race. Most people thought he had no chance. The 400 meters was 4 times longer than what he was used to, but Eric wasn't worried. As he stepped onto the track, a friend handed him a piece of paper. It had a verse from the Bible. "Those who honor me, I will honor." 1 Samuel 2:30. Eric smiled, folded the paper, and stepped into his starting position. The gun fired. Eric exploded forward. He ran faster than anyone had ever seen. His head tilted back, his arms pumped wildly. It wasn't the right way to run, but no one could catch him. He rounded the final curve, pushing harder and harder. And then, he crossed the finish line. Eric had won the gold. And not only that, he had set a new world record. The crowd erupted in cheers. Eric had honored God first, and God had honored him. A life for others. Eric could have spent the rest of his life as a famous athlete. He could have raced in more Olympics, won more gold, and lived in comfort. But Eric had a different dream. He left behind his racing career and returned to China as a missionary to share the love of Jesus with the people he had grown up with. Even when war broke out and life became dangerous, Eric never stopped serving others. He taught children, cared for the sick, and lived out his faith with joy. Though he never raced on a track again, Eric kept running the race of faith, all the way to the finish line. Eric Liddell's story teaches us that honoring God is always worth it. Even when the world tells us to chase gold medals, fame, or success, the real prize is a life lived for Christ. Eric ran fast, but his greatest victory wasn't on a track. It was in his heart. And just like Eric, you can run the race of faith with all your heart, trusting God every step of the way. Good night, little one. Sleep well, knowing that God has a race just for you